Hey guys, Ted from Nerdarchy here, for nerds by nerds, hanging out with some of the colleagues here.
Brian.
Are you sure? Dave.
So today we have a viewer request from.
I believe it was from Laughing to Death.
Okay, he wants to
I'm
know
laughing to death.
at the concept of the video.
Maybe, but that's the viewer's name.
Today we're going to talk about Mongrel Folk, or Mongrelmen, if you want to go back to the old second edition term.
Well, Mongrel Folk is more PC, more all-inclusive.
Well, just in case we got some of the
mongrel, sexy mongrel ladies.
Yeah.
That cloven hoof is so nice.
So the Mongrel Folk, they have been around since at least second edition, and they're kind of the genetic throwbacks from lots of different crossbreeding and races, and they kind of look all kinds of weird and funky.
Well, their origins, from what I remember, were the result of magical experimentation, right? Wasn't that the way that they were?
No. I think it was more of just different races constantly breeding together.
Yes,
creepy. Yeah,
it is kind of creepy. I actually feel like they're really easy to make. Stats +2 to con, +1 anywhere they want it. They have the mimicry, the voice mimicry thing, which we can rip right from the Kenku.
Yeah, and since I already did the Kenku, that's easy to just port over.
They're really good at either pickpocketing, which used to be pickpocketing, so that's either sleight of hand or stealth. So they can be proficient in one of those. Or I mean, if you wanted to go with something different, and like this is all they get.
Well, you could just give them any skill choice. They could just choose a skill. They should have their racial thing, I guess.
One of the things I wanted to do here, the old Mongrel Folk had like this weird shell and a claw, and they kind of went away from some of that.
Well, no, I mean they just looked. They could literally look like anything.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I wanted to do, or my take on it, would totally be, all right, you get the +2 to con, +1 anywhere you want it. You can give them some of those abilities. If it says, all right, they emulate, I'll give you the thing from the Kenku, and then I'll say, all right, you choose one from this list of abilities.
Right.
And okay, well, all right, you get one of the options could be, you have a claw, you have an unarmed attack that does a d6 damage that you're proficient with. You can gain a skill and get a list of different things that they might be proficient in. And I kind of try to come up with a couple other abilities that would be on the same value, and this way every time you make one, they can all be different. And then you build your background and your class on top of that, so even more variety.
Well, out of things we've seen with natural attacks, a D6 is kind of bumpy. Yeah, so D4 would probably be.
I was thinking about that, but here's what else I was thinking about: disadvantage on anything requiring 2 hands.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like there could be a negative to go with it because you don't have the fine manipulation.
Yeah,
with that hand.
Yeah, that totally works.
Yeah. So you could have your boon and bust, as you will, build into it. So weal and woe.
Well, yeah. I mean, whether you go with the kind of like, hey, this is like, here's 18 different sub races of Mongrelman, that commonly keep reoccurring.
Yeah, you can't really build that, because there's not sub races. They're not distinctly different. Each Mongrelman is different.
Yeah. Well, no, you come up with like 10 to 12 options, and that each one starts to have its own thing, and you can describe, ones that have a D4 natural attack, that could be a bite, that could be a claw, like you skin that however you feel as a player.
Yeah.
Do you want them to have a crab arm, or do you want them to have like a muzzle? Like however.
Yeah, that works.
So. Yeah, it could be a natural attack. It could be dark vision. There's a lot of ways you could go with it.
Yeah.
It could be blind, but it has blind sight 10 foot.
Blind sense, yeah. Since some screwy stuff goes on with them.
Well, blind sight, like, it's got advantages, but there are so many disadvantages if you're literally blind as well.
Well, there is, and you make it really close to them, like 10 feet, where like anything outside of that, they
have disadvantage on perception. Anything else,
they just see it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
no, they can hear and smell.
Yeah. There's other
whatever gives them blind sight is still working beyond that range. It's just not as effective. Yeah. So here's what I was thinking. As soon as I saw this request, I was like, they might even mention it, but dude, these guys just scream Beggar King.
Yeah. And then, well, everything does. Everything that's like degenerate, has its way into the Beggar King.
Yeah, I could definitely see him having. Yeah, I could see a mob of Mongrelmen going around, basically not only begging but prophesizing and talking about the virtues of the Beggar King.
Well, also too, we have our
the king,
our nature deity, Kretschfer, which is the of the hunt and beasts and stuff like that. And since they're kind of animalistic, they could
totally go that direction.
The ones that kind of leave civilization and become like barbarians and druids and stuff, that would be them.
Yeah, but I don't know, because I just feel like they're so like, they're like the downtrodden, like they're like the most downtrodden race that was ever created.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you have ones that go a tribalistic sort of way, that would be where they land. But no, absolutely, the Beggar King, it works too. You can have different sects and cults of everything.
Not that you could definitely do it. Like I could definitely see that. It's just like if you go for the stereotypical Mongrelman, it's like screams Beggar King.
Right. They're very Quasimodo from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like they're very like sanctuary. So.
Yeah. Well, and I think like it used to be. I'm probably going back to like part of their personality traits were like that they were kind of always like really demure anyway,
skittish,
and skittish, and really like they kind of like knew their place.
Which is always on the bottom.
Which was always on the bottom.
Yeah.
And their natural inclination would be to basically be like beggars.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's how they were described in like second edition.
I could also see them being kind of played like Dobby the house elf.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But
like you said, there could definitely be like a tribe of them that said, we're not going to take it anymore. we're
they go all Twisted
Sister.
Loud,
we're proud.
Twister Sister.
Hell no, we won't go.
Yeah.
Mongrel Folk is beautiful.
Yeah, that's right.
So you could definitely go that, or Kretschfer, or you could go with the Harbinger. The Harbinger. That could be an interesting sect.
Yeah, that's just like everything sucks and we want to bring it to an end.
Well, no, he's like,
it could be. You could take on the nihilism sort of, like we're a perversion. We're a perversion of everything, and ultimately this is where all things lead to, and we want to destroy it.
I was kind of going with like, he's all about chaos and change, and these guys are like the living embodiment of physical chaos. Their eyes don't even match, or patches of fur and scale and carpus, all on the same creature.
They could also worship the chaos storms. In fact, they could be made by the chaos storms, like not just the breeding thing. They could be another thing that was warped into being resulted from.
Well, that could very well. The race could have come from the chaos
origins,
and there may be ones in the chaos waste.
Yeah, but I mean,
they could
be roving in chaos waste. Gets a little Warhammerish, but there was always chaos before Warhammer, so take it easy, guys.
If you had what if a chaos storm initially came through, and
an area with a bunch of animals and humans?
No, I was saying would just picked up people and from a variety of different races and literally mash them together. So there could be some Mongrel folk who honestly have multiple personalities and multiple memories.
Did he just describe Chaos NATO?
Chaos NATO.
Yes, Chaos NATO.
That's right. Well, I mean, but I was basically thinking the same thing where whatever was in the region, it's almost like the ooze from Ninja Turtles, but it started, but even more creepy.
As opposed to it's the last thing you touched, it's literally pushing things.
It amalgams things. Yeah. It just swept through and amalgamed this storm amalgamed whatever was there, and it's oh, there's a guy, a rat, a lizard,
and a wagon.
Well, they didn't really get
No, it's all biological.
Yeah, because then you get into the toxic Avenger sort of creatures that existed.
Yeah. You're right. That would be so very cool. Yeah. Oh, you guys are going the other way with that.
I don't want to have a wagon wheel. That's just. Although I mean, if he's got a little stumpy little leg, he could.
Can my Mongrelman at least wear a pink tutu?
If you
fight with a mop.
Oh God.
And say it's cleanup time.
It's cleanup time. Yeah.
So, did we cover it?
I think so. Hopefully, we answered your question how we would do Mongrel Folk, and
I'm sure there's going to be an article up on Nerdarchy.com
about this. Yeah, and maybe whoever does that article will talk a little bit how they can fit into into the Chimes of Discordia
campaign setting. That's right. Which, by the way, that's the renaming of Gryffindor. It's now Chimes of Discordia. We worked it out.
They totally usurped me.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, it's been replaced.
It's been replaced. So with that, you guys, what do you guys think of Mongrelman? Put it down in the comments while you're at it. Like, subscribe, and even share.
You can engage with us on Reddit that Nathan Nerdarchy runs at How to Stay Nerdy. So did I say that right?
You're supposed to join the conversation.
Join the conversation. That's right.
I don't know what they do over there.
Yeah, they have a conversation.
Or you can patronize us in a good way by supporting our Patreon account. Let us keep bringing you really cool videos. Allow us to get some better gear to make the stuff better for you.
Well, until next time,
stay nerdy.
Sanctuary.